All right, 6 days away from the biggest game of the year, and I'm just happy that the Seahawks are playing in it. It's also kind of sad at the same time because it's the last game of the season. I remember making my prediction video for the Panthers-Seahawks game like it was yesterday. It feels like week one was yesterday. I mean, hell, it feels like we just made that Percy Harvin trade like it was yesterday, and that was back last March or something like that, or April, no, March, I think it was. And yeah, so I mean, time flies, it really does. And I guess when this season's over, I'm just gonna have NFL Network on every time I turn on the TV. NFL's number one ranked offense against NFL's number ranked defense this season. That's going to be a good matchup. I don't think Peyton Manning's going to really throw to Richard Sherman very much. I mean, he might test him a few times. Sherman's going to be covering Demaryius Thomas. I think Payne will probably more try to target whoever's Byron Maxwell will be covering and stuff like that. And now Marshawn Lynch has been beast mode in like these last two playoff games. Absolutely beast mode. So I'm not worried about him. Like during the regular season, he was I think only averaged like 4.1 yards a carry. Two postseason games, 5.7 yards a carry. The dude's been beast. 3 rushing touchdowns, I believe he has this postseason. So I'm fine with that. Totally fine. Our passing game, we got Percy Harvin back. He's all good. Passed all his concussion protocols last week. For what I saw in the Saints game, he had 3 big catches and he had that one big run, the outside run that we handed off to him for a first down. And so if he can stay healthy, I tell you, if he stays healthy this whole game, that is a pretty big X factor right there for us, especially since the Broncos don't have very much tape of him. They have a few snaps from the Vikings game and probably I believe a quarter and a half from the Saints game. And other than that, they're going to have to start studying from when he was back with the Vikings. And like I said, Denver's offense not only is it the number one this season, but it's like the best of all time. They broke so many records this season, it's not even funny. And if the Seahawks defense is able to hold Peyton Manning in this game, and we're able to live up to all our hype because everybody's like, oh, Peyton Manning's going to pick us apart, which I don't think is going to happen. I'll get that in a minute. If the Seahawks are able to stop Peyton Manning, we might be the 2013 Seahawks might be talked about like a class of their own, kind of like how the Steel Curtain and 85 Bears and stuff were, And then back to what I was talking about Peyton Manning picking us off or whatever, or picking us apart. Everybody keeps saying that, oh, he's going to do it. The Seahawks don't play zone coverage though, We play man-to-man. We press coverage, We're up in your face. We're physical. Peyton Manning's only gone against one top 10 defense this year, and that was the Houston Texans. And if I remember correctly, I forgot the exact score was, but I don't think Denver blew the Texans out like they blew a lot of other teams out. I do think that that's what I want to say. I could be wrong about that, but I believe, if I remember correctly, seeing that score from the game, I think it was when they played in Week 16, it wasn't exactly a blowout. It was actually kind of a close game between those two teams. So, 35% chance of precipitation. It's supposed to be 30. It's supposed to be freezing or whatever. So, that can either be freezing rain or snow, whatever. I still think the NFL should build a separate stadium for the Super Bowl, but I don't know. That's kind of what I think, or maybe just I don't know how many people are able to seat. They can seat in the stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii, where they have the Pro Bowl. But hell, maybe you can just have the Super Bowl there. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how many people that stadium seats, but I just don't, or just build a dome or something, because I don't want this game. I don't want the weather to decide an outcome of this game. I don't want people to be slipping, because our defense plays fast, and a lot of people keep saying if it rains or whatever, that's advantage Seattle. I wouldn't say. I'd say it's still even, because like I said, our defense plays fast, and if it's raining and stuff, our defense can slip and stuff like that. So defense is very, very aggressive, and stuff like that. So ultimately, I think this game is going to be a great game. Earlier in the season, when I did this prediction, I even gave a score. I just gave a random score back when I did this in August. And I said we were going to win 31-28 in overtime, because that was my bold prediction. I was like, this is going to be the first Super Bowl that goes into overtime. But I'm going to change that score up, because in order for it to go 31-28 in overtime, well, this doesn't exactly have to happen, but what most likely would have to happen is we'd have to get 4 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns only. The reason I don't think that's going to happen is because the Seahawks, they always score in field goals, man. First, we're probably in this game, I would bet money we score a field goal before we get a touchdown, But I wouldn't be surprised if this game went to overtime, and I still want to actually hold that. I do think this Super Bowl might be going in overtime. I mean, the team is the fact that it's a #1 offense going against a #1 defense. Nobody's getting picked apart in this game. I'm looking for the Seahawks offense to really show up in this game, and I think we've held a lot of stuff back in our offense this entire season, as far as like our playbook and stuff. And I feel like it was still sort of close, open up a little bit in the postseason, but still a little bit close. And I feel like this game I just have a feeling. I have a feeling that we're just going to open up our playbook this game. And I'm not saying we're going to pass more, because obviously we don't want to get away from our identity, and our identity is running the game. I believe we ran the game. I mean, we ran the ball like 97, 98% of the time this season. Something like that. I know it was over like 55%, but we ran the ball, and that's who we are, you know. Give it to Marshawn Lynch, you know. Give it to the beast mode, you know. And he's, like I said, he's been beast this postseason so far. So just hopefully there's no fumbles in the end zone this time, like there was last year and last game. But other than that, I mean, it's just, I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. A lot of people are saying, oh, the Seahawks are going to blow them out. A lot of people are saying that Denver's going to blow them out. It's going to be a close. It really is, you know, because it's just, you know, it's going to be a good one. And I'm really hoping we win, because let me tell you, after 8 years of waiting for another Super Bowl to go to, that would really suck if we didn't pull this one off. But I really do think we will. Our defense, like I said, I think they're going to hold Manning down. I'm not saying that we're going to shut them out or anything, but because Manning is too good to do that. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. I wouldn't, if I were any of you guys, I wouldn't be looking at the preseason game and making any judgments off of that. It's going to be, if I had to give a final score, I say 28-25 Seattle, or I don't know, maybe 30-27. I don't know if either team are going to hit in the 30s, and a lot of people will argue our defense is going to hold Denver under 20 points. I can see your argument for that, because that's what our defense has done a lot this season. But there has been times where defense has slipped, and I don't think we're going to slip. I just think that Peyton Manning, and they have like four good wide receivers, and they also have a running game. Like I said, O'Shawn Marino had 215 yards rushing against the Patriots. Not last game they played, but earlier in the middle of the season or whatever it was, when there was that Monday night or Sunday night football game. I mean, the Broncos can run the ball. I mean, they'll hand it off to O'Shawn Marino if they have to, but he has bruised ribs, I believe. So I mean, whether or not he's going to play full time, I'm not sure. But anyway, that'll conclude my video. I mean, I just can't wait. 6 days until the Super Bowl, but at the same time, I mean, if we win, I'll be very, very, very happy, just like the rest of you. I probably won't even go to school the next day, to be honest with you. It's going to be very awesome. But at the same time, the Monday after the Super Bowl, it's going to suck, because the season's over. You know, the only football you're going to get is NFL Network, pretty much, or you can go and rewind and rewatch the games. But other than that, football's over after the Super Bowl, and that's just the sad part about it. But anyway, thanks for watching my video, and go Hawks.